Your life is short, terrifyingly short. Assuming that you get to live to the age of 80, that is just 4,000 weeks or 29,000 days. I have this as a constant reminder of just how short life is, because it is something that we tend to forget too easily. And it is why so many live this tragic scenario of living as if they are never going to die and then dying having never really lived. Don't let this be you. So in today's video, I want to share with you 3 insights on how you can spend your time more wisely, and to help you understand that it's not just about how long you live, but about the quality of your existence. The first is to understand what success means to you. Because when you haven't trained your mind to focus on what you want, you will be told by society what is important. I used to think that success was about my job title, how much I earned, my status in society, the car I drove, how big my house was. However, over time, and as I grew more wiser, I came to realize that success for me was more about legacy. It was about inner peace. It was about whether I lived a life true to myself. It was about the impact that I had on the lives of other people. This transition from focusing on career virtues, as I would like to call it, and spending more of my energy focusing on legacy virtues, really helped me to get clear on what mattered most. Because it is our legacy that people will remember at the end of our lives. They won't talk about in your eulogy about how hard you worked or how long you worked in the office or the accolades that you achieved. More likely, they will be talking about the impact that you had on those around you, the value that you brought into this world. While you may not get the opportunity to read your own obituary, we can do an exercise that can help you understand the difference from where you are now to where you want to be. What you want to do is to write down first the obituary that you would love to read about your life. As you do so, think about these sort of questions. What would people say about the life that you had lived? What would people say about the impact that you had in the world? What would people say about the impact you had on them? And then you want to write the obituary of the life you are living now if nothing changed. If nothing changed, what would that obituary look like? And then notice the difference between the two. The difference between the obituary that you would love to have written about your life and the obituary about the current path that you are on. And then ask yourself, how are you going to change your story? How are you going to change the life that you are living to the one that you want to live? It is too late to go back and change what has happened, but it is never too late to begin living the life that you are meant to live, and to change the trajectory of your future, to change the destination that you get to at the end of your life. The second is to master the art of being, not just doing. There is this quote that says, wherever you are, be there. And it makes me realize that the greatest gift that we can give to others and that we can receive is that feeling of being listened to, that feeling of being present with somebody, to feel connected with someone. That the most precious moments in life is less about the doing and more about the being. Being in the present. Being with the people that you love. Because you are rarely going to look back and say, I wish I stared at my phone and screens more. I wish I'd worked late into the evening. More likely, you're going to look back and say, I wish I spent more quality time with the people I loved. I wish I was there for those moments. People do not want your time as much as they want your energy and presence. You may say to someone that, yes, I spent the whole weekend with you, but did you? Were you actually there with them? Was your energy and your presence with them during the time that you say you were with them? Because if not, then to them, you weren't really there. Remember that quote, wherever you are, be there. So what can you do to live more in the present moment, to live more in the now? Because that is where life is happening. When you master the art of being instead of just doing. You're able to live instead of just existing. You are able to create beautiful memories and moments instead of constantly being distracted by devices that demand your attention. The third is to be bold in living a life of purpose. I believe that the purpose of life is a life of purpose, and it begins with owning your day. When you own your day and take bold action to move forward towards the goals that matter, you create a ripple effect that seeps into the actions of tomorrow. How can you expect to create a beautiful life if you can't even own your day? Most of us go through our weeks in which our days own us rather than us taking full ownership of our days. When you show up with a certain level of energy, what happens is you begin to attract opportunities, people and things into your life. Now, I understand that fear and doubt will have a role to play. In fact, fear is one of the biggest obstacles why we don't start. The fear of the unknown, the fear of whether we are good enough, the fear of what others will think about the actions you take. You can live your life hostage to the fears you will have, but that is going to stop you from living a life that you want, a life that you desire. And all that is going to happen is that you are going to get to the end of your life filled with regret. It's why people say that the graveyard is often the richest place on earth, because it is full of the hopes and dreams that people never got to see materialize. You can take action now in being bold and not let the opinions of others hold you down. Fear and doubt will always be with you. It is the price of admission to a life of purpose. It is part of the game of personal development. Now, it can be a passenger in your car, or it can jump into the driving seat of your life. It comes down to the relationship that you have with it. If you can cultivate a healthy relationship with fear, to understand when fear is working for you and when it is working against you, you can overcome it and move beyond your comfort zone. Because nothing beats fear like practice. Nothing beats fear like practice. When you put yourself out there, when you have the courage to take action, when you have the power to collapse that gap between idea and execution, you begin showing yourself just what is possible. You begin to open your imagination to what else you could do and just how capable you actually are. If you really want to understand how powerful fear can be, have a go at this exercise. Take one limiting belief that you feel has held you back. Write down 3 things. The first is, what has this limiting belief cost you? The second is, what has this limiting belief cost you in the present? And the third is, what will this limiting belief cost you in the future if you continue to hold it? Now, once you put your answers down to those questions, the challenge I have for you is to then reflect on what life would be like if you didn't have that belief. If you had the opposite to that belief, what would be possible for your life going forwards? You see, belief is the catalyst to action. Belief can either hold us back from our potential, or it can free us towards taking small steps towards where we know we can be, towards realizing those hopes and dreams that we have deep inside of us, and to show the world what we are made of, to share the value, gifts and talents that we are all born with. Because you matter. You were born on this planet for a reason. And when you get to share this with the world, when you get to do the work that you are meant to do, that is what contributes to a fulfilling life. So I hope you find the courage to build a life around what matters most to you. I hope you listen to the guide that resides within each and every one of us and awaken that hero potential. I hope you discover the energy to come back stronger and allow your life to flourish in ways that will make you want to pinch yourself. Because one day, when you're old and looking back on life, you're going to wish you had. You're going to wish you had done things differently, and you won't be able to travel back in time to change things.
Click the link in our bio to try InnerTune, a powerful mind reprogramming tool that will allow you to become a vibrational match to your desires, attracting them effortlessly into your life.